Well, hey fellas, Thorzax here. We're back for a little bit, and what I was thinking about now, I've seen an awful lot of videos out there and range testing, and guys, trying to tweak their loads, and they're putting all this time and effort into making sure everything's just perfect, and things like that. Some of it's OCD, some of it, people overthink things. I have a theory that most of the guns will outshoot most of the shooters. I mean, it's just one of those things. Now, finding the right load and all that, that's all part of the process of the craft that we're in. However, before we get to this, one of the things I do want to bring to the table is the Pistol Shooter's Treasury. If you haven't got this book, I suggest you get it. This is an excellent book. It goes into all kinds of the fundamentals. Everything that you need to know is in here. I mean, there's no secrets. These guys are not holding back. They're telling you everything that works. And they're telling you stuff that maybe you thought up on your own, that they thought up on their own that would work. They found out didn't, and they explain why. So, this is a very, very good book. Look at that Blankenship, Guy was a rock. Harry Reeves, right there. Close in on that. Look at that revolver he's got. A lot of people would probably say, man, look at that thing, man. It looks like it's, held together with baling wire, But I'm going to tell you what, that guy could shoot X's with that thing all day long at 50 yards. It's not how they look so much as how they shoot, That's the bottom line right there. And sometimes you just get lucky. I mean, you just get lucky. One of the things I wanted to kind of get into right now is something that Cookie had brought up a long time ago. We've talked many, many times in many, many discussions that have went on forever. Okay, and lots of things, lots of old stories about this guy and that guy and these people and those people and blah, 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 blah. And it was all about, shooting matches. And one of the matches that he used to enjoy shooting was PPC. Now, PPC derived from Bullseye. Okay, it came out of Bullseye. It still had all the fundamentals that you had to do in order to shoot proficiently, but it was the competitive police combat shooting course. And believe it or not, this book right here, it's got everything in it in order for you to, get proficient at it. All the stances, all the different, all the different ways that you can sit, everything is in here. As far as barricades, the whole bit. Here's a guy. Here's a guy right here. It says close up on number 8, figure number 8 here. It says 810 and X-ring of the B-27 target. Both of these targets fired by this guy Gaines. Score was 24x possible. I mean, they all went into the X-ring. I mean, that's a perfect score. That's what you're firing. It really is. It really is a competitive sport. And what happened was, Bullseye started out there. A lot of people participated in Bullseye. Bullseye was very challenging, but Bullseye was basically, it's an individual sport. It's not really a spectator sport. It's a sport about participation. You have to go out and do it in order to enjoy it. I mean, you just can't go to the firing line, sit there for 3 hours watching a 2700 and say, boy, that made my day. Because I'm going to tell you what, you're going to get bored. It is boring. Unless you do it. And actually, you know what? Some of the funnest times, some of the craziest things I ever seen was when I was out there shooting Bullseye. I had the funnest time that I've ever had in my life. I mean, with those guys and just just shooting with those gentlemen out there, some of the ladies and stuff, some of the jokes we used to do, some of the things we used to say about each other. You know, it's great memories. Well, anyway, let's move on. So PPC first started getting out there with the service revolver. This is a Model 15 that I have, which is a excellent gun. This gun shoots fantastic. As you can see, it's unloaded. Fantastic gun. And what happened was they started shooting the PPC courses with guns like this. They would take the Model 10s and put, you know, adjustable sights on them, like a sight rail, a Bowmar sight rail, and they would shoot that way. They would do trigger jobs and that sort of thing. And as the sport grew in popularity, well, that attracted gunsmiths to start building guns for PPC shooting, and got away from your standard, service revolver. Now, those of you guys out there know about this one. Now, this is my Bill Davis gun. It's an end frame, 38 special, and it's a 5-screw. I mean, it has the screw underneath here for adjusting your, the paw and the whole bit. And this gun is smooth as butter. This gun right here will shoot X's at 50 yards, just the way it is. It's got the winged front sight. It's this is the Bowmar rail. It's got the heavy duty it's a 10 lands and 10 grooves barrel. Bill Davis barrel. It's just a great gun. He did a trigger job on it, and it's a fantastic gun. So, we got that going for us. Here's another thing. Some of the guys that were out there, it wasn't they didn't like shooting revolvers. What they wanted to do is they wanted to step it up a little bit. And, going from basically, you've got a double action revolver, standard issue gun, to the Bill Davis's guns, within, a 10-year period, all this stuff starts happening. And also, there were guys that shot automatics, okay? I'm going to show you something that you're probably not going to see anywhere else. You're not going to see one of these anywhere else. It's kind of as a collector's item. I've never seen one out there. I got it through a friend of mine when I first started shooting Bullseye. So let's take a look at it. Now I've mounted it on the Dick Shockey Bullseye pistol. Here we go. What we got here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that's a mascot. And it's got an adjustable front sight. It's got the wings, and your elevation on the rear there. It adds mass, to the slide. So when the slide, goes back and forth in and out of battery, it has that extra chunk to it. So when it locks up solid, That was one of the things, and it slows the slide down a little bit while you're shooting. So, your sight alignment and your attention to your sight alignment is steadier when you have that sort of lock and unlock and mass to your slide. I'm not saying you can shoot this better, but you can shoot it with more duration, with more longevity in a shoot. But anyway, that's what this is. This is a mascot. You probably won't see one of these anywhere. And if you do see one of these, grab it. I mean, these are kind of a collector's item. I first started shooting Bullseye. I did not have I had another gun at that time, and I did not have a Bowmar for it. So what I did is I had it drilled and tapped, and I put this on it, and I shot Bullseye with this on another gun. And eventually, I went ahead and I got the Dick Shockey gun in a trade. It's a long story. Man, I'll tell you what, this gun set up just like this, you shoot X's all day long with that. I think it was kind of cool that if you look at the mascot, you see these little ribs right here. See how they got these little cuts right here on that rib going up to the front sight? These right here, these steps, those diffuse light. So all you really see when you look down the sight rail, all you see is a nice black, you know, front sight. That's it. And then the way that these, you know, it's unloaded. The way that these sights work is that you have your, you know, you have your police silhouette, okay? You got your little man standing out there with his head, right? And you got the shoulders. And what this does is that these two brackets right here fit right in between the shoulders. So when you line up and you go to take the shot, like that, what you're actually looking at is this area, and the front sight, and you're bracketing that police silhouette to get those X's. You know, you're not looking anywhere past the front sight on that. All you've got is a blur of your B-27 target out there. So anyway, I kind of wanted to share that with you, that these pistols were used in PPC. You know, the 1911s were. You know, of course, you got your standard service, revolvers, and also your custom guns. And PPC is kind of the granddaddy to action pistol shooting. And, you know, when it really became modern, you know, Bullseye really didn't have that whole, it really didn't have that charisma that would attract people to watch it. And so when they came out with PPC, there was an awful lot of people that started attending these matches, and then you had audiences, you had people out there that, you know, were spectators, and also, you know, the gun manufacturers, the ammo manufacturers, the you know, specialized gunsmiths. All these guys started setting this up and advertising and putting their banners out there and sponsoring and all this other stuff. You know, and it really got a lot of speed behind it in PPC. And people started, when people started shooting it as the sport grew. So it's not, you know, Bullseye's not a spectator sport. It's a sport of participation. PPC has spectator participation in it. So that's pretty much it. The ammo manufacturers, gun manufacturers, those guys, they they cleaned up. If you ever see one of these mascots, go ahead and pick it up. I mean, it's a collector's item. You know, you got your adjustment on the front sight. It's kind of cool. I mean, your left and right. Your adjustment for your up and down is on the rear sight. You know, kind of cool. That's the way they did stuff back then. And also the Pistol Shooter's Treasury. If you find this book, go ahead and buy it. It's an excellent book. I absolutely cannot recommend a better book for pistol shooters out there, or any type of shooting for that matter, because a lot of this stuff transfers to rifle. In fact, all of it does, except for you're shooting a rifle. Now I'm beginning to find out in the way of shotgun, that's a whole different story. That's a different way of aiming. And so, you know, that's kind of what I'm doing. This is kind of a sabbatical away from my shotgun series right now. I needed to kind of break it up. So, anyway, go to the Reloaders Network. You know, check out some of the articles there, the authors that we have now. There's a lot of good stuff in there. You know, YouTube is, you know, it's getting smaller. I mean, we have less and less people that are uploading videos now. People are going directly to HugeTube, you know. They're not even using, you know, YouTube anymore. So, you know, things are changing in the way of video creators right now. So, you know, kind of bear with it. You know. So anyway, this is Thor's Axe. I'm going to get this uploaded. So you guys have a good one, and we'll catch you later. See you in the next video.